Hello, my name's Carole. Welcome to my sewing room. This is #Friday Sews, a bumper packed Friday Sews this week. I'm going to be comparing Simplicity 1499, which I made this week, to the Oakley Vest that I made about 6 months ago. So I'm going to be comparing those two patterns because obviously they are very, very similar. I've got a cushion to show you, I've got some knickers, I've got a craft project, I've got so much to tell you about this week. I just want to say a massive thank you to you for watching and all my subscribers. Normally I put the thank you at the end, but of course if you've left my video before then, you will never hear me say thank you. But I really do appreciate you watching and any subscribers out there. So let's get on with doing the review between these two. So here are the two lovely ladies here showing the two vests. This one, of course, my newest one, Simplicity 1499. This is and the other one is the Oakley Vest. Now it's a bit hard to compare in a way because one of them I use the princess seam version here, and one I use the more boxy version here. There is a princess seam version. So I'm going to compare the two, but I suppose what I will judge them on the most is the fact of the collar. Why I like this one so much more, this is a spoiler alert, is because of the collar. Look at the shape of the collar. It's much kinder, it's softer, it's lower. I haven't interfaced it, so it is much softer, and I much prefer that to the very hard. This is bound as well, it's bound along the top, so it's very stiff. The fabric of course is different, it is stiffer, but this collar for me is too high. When I show you in a little bit the video, you will see what I mean about it being a little bit too high on me. Okay, so let's go back to this one. Thank you so much everybody for recommending that I not use the flowery binding. So let me just get that for you in case you missed last week. So when I bought the fabric, I was looking for some binding and I was kind of recommended by the shop to get this binding, and it does go beautifully with it, but actually it made it look very twee, as I said in my video, very old-fashioned, very twee. And it would have dated it. So I went out to Hobbycraft and bought 2 packets of this just normal bias binding. Ended up having to buy a third, but that's another story. It sort of blends in. It makes it a much more modern look, so I am very, very happy with it. This, when I did the binding on this one, I used like a silky binding, which was a nightmare. This is firm and it did what I wanted. So that was, thank you very much to everybody that kind of agreed with me that it would have made it look very dated. So I was going to go for the inseam pockets this time rather than the pockets that sit on the top, but I cut them all out, but I really wasn't happy with the way the kind of pattern was designed on that and the size of the pocket. The best way for me to illustrate it actually to show you. So this is the front, and this of course is the side front, so you get the princess seam, and the pocket will of course go in here. So this is my front for the size 10. Of course all pockets are the same size, aren't they? So when I would have placed my pocket here, can you see how close to the front it would have been here? It would have been about an inch away from that zip. So in other words, if I wasn't wearing it shut, when you open it, you would see a kind of pocket flapping about just here. I really don't like that. Of course, the way round that would have been to actually sew this pocket onto this, but it would have kind of really spoilt the lines of it. So yeah, an inch away isn't great. I could have reduced the size of the pocket, but I would still have, there was no way that you sewed this down, so it would still be flapping about. And I like to wear things undone, just sometimes a layer. I don't always want it zipped up. So I changed and I went back to this pocket. Other than that, I am really, really happy with it. I would say it's a bit gappy here, but that one is too, and I think it's just the design of it, isn't it? Because it's designed to wear over jumpers and things, so it's not going to be skin tight here. I will put the footage in of both of them. So this one here, me wearing, which I am very happy about it. Obviously, it's bright. It's, you know, I'm comparing chalk and cheese here. It's bright, but it's fun. I'll be visible, definitely, when I'm using it for walks and things like that. This one here, I still like and I still wear, but it's just this hard high collar here. So I'll put the footage in of that one as well, and you can see it. It's more boxy. It's not as flattering as perhaps this one. As I said though, this is a firmer fabric and this is a softer fabric, but going forward, I would definitely make this one again because of that beautiful shape of the collar rather than being so sort of boxy. For me, this is a more basic pattern. That's the Love Notions one. It's a more basic, where this has got a bit more finesse the way it's cut and designed. So there we go. I made my pink vest. I'm very, very happy. I didn't mind doing the binding at all. I didn't moan once to myself. What did I do with that binding? Of course, the flowery binding. I did exactly what I said, and I covered the seams with it on inside. I've never bothered to do that before, but I think it just made it look a bit more special. Oh, I did have to, I might have to take this off to show you this actually, but the zip I got one, it was too short, and one was too long. So I had to chop the top off. Of course it was, it's not like a sort of continuous zip, it's a split zip, so it's a set sort of length. So with the binding, I just put a little bit, obviously you've got to seal off the end, so I just put a little bit of the bias binding and kind of put a tab on the top, which is probably softer anyway. So yeah, that's what I did on the top. So that was my very short review of Simplicity 1499 and the Oakley vest. I put out my final fabric wheel results this week. That's the hashtag fabric wheel of fate. Final results. So that wheel will go away for a month or two. I've got still I've got loads of summery fabrics that I haven't used up yet. So hopefully we'll have a summer this year. This was the result. I made that awful tartan, which I really didn't like. Now I've made it up. I absolutely love it. So I made some pyjama bottoms with a new look pattern. I'll put the number down below. And also this was a blouse pattern, McCalls blouse pattern. And I just used it. It didn't have a collar. It's not meant to have a collar, that particular view of it, which was perfect because I'd ran out of fabric. But what I forgot to show you in my fabric wheel of fate was when I was searching this kind of fabric and what to make up with it, I came across a picture, and I have to say I think my pyjamas probably look as good as this one. So this, when I was searching it, they looked very similar, and it was actually a Ralph Lauren pair of pyjamas looking very similar to mine. So I'm really, really pleased with that. Thank you everyone who watched it and commenting on that, and yeah, the series will be back, but don't forget to check out everybody else's hashtag fabric wheel of fate. I forgot to say, a couple of you asked me how I did the twill tape on the bottom. Now I did this to kind of make it look a bit more finished. Honestly, it was probably the easiest way I did it. All I did first of all was just a overlock, because these had to be such a small hem because they were the longest I could get them out of the fabric. So I just did the normal hem, and then all I did was literally top stitch that piece of hem twill tape. As you can see, it's only a centimetre wide twill tape, so I just, if you can see, there's a second line of stitching along the bottom, and that's all I did, just to put the twill tape on the bottom. So yeah, it wasn't tricky. Now, what else have I been sewing this week? Well, it's a funny story. You know it's my husband's birthday back in February, and when you're on Instagram or something like that, quite often you see adverts coming up. And one advert was for this t-shirt where it says legend, husband, dad and grandpa or something, and the dates for the different years. So it came up on Instagram, so I followed the link and I ordered a t-shirt for Chris. What I didn't realise was, because I probably ordered it very quickly, I didn't realise the size of it. So when it came as a small teen. Which my husband thought was a bit of an insult for me, but no, I should have ordered a large, and it came as a small teen. So I thought, okay, I'll return it. But like if you buy something on Instagram, it's really hard to track down where the actual order was from. And try as I might, I couldn't remember the company. I had nothing. I didn't have there was nothing on the receipt, and it was so hard to locate. It didn't cost a fortune, so I thought that's fine. I'll order him another one in a size large, which is what I did. But meanwhile, I had this other t-shirt lying about. I was going to use the front as a panel and then make another t-shirt. Oh, I just thought, no, this is crazy. So what I decided to do was turn it into a cushion for him. So this has been made out of the t-shirt. It's one of those fold over easy peasy cushion covers. I've even used the bottom hem for that bit there. But yeah, so he's got legend, husband, dad, grandpa. So he's got this cushion now that he can use in his office. It was such a fun thing to do, way to use this t-shirt, and all I had left was the sleeves. So genius. Yeah, so that's it. So he has a t-shirt, a bigger t-shirt, and now that cushion to remind him of how old he is and how long he's been married to me. This has been on my to-do list for a long time, but I finally made some more knickers this week. I like to do it where I make 3 and I throw 3 out. So 3 in, 3 out. So I made some more. Now I love doing this because it's a way I use up all my cotton jersey scraps. Obviously I've got to buy the lace, and I use fold over elastic for the leg pieces. But it's fun that they normally only take half an hour. They are miles better than M&S knickers if you live in the UK, because they're much nicer quality cotton jersey that we buy that they now use. So I made 3 pairs. I'm not going to hold them up in totality, but yeah, I've got this lovely stripy pair. Now you may remember that from a style like Madison top I made, and this was also a pair of pajamas, so 2 the same there. As I said, fold over elastic there. Some, I think this is 5 centimetre, yeah, it's about right, 4 centimetre or 5 centimetre elastic that I've actually got from Amazon, and it was lovely. And again there, oh yeah, that was a bit slightly fancier fold over elastic that I got in Hanson's in Dorset, so that was quite nice. So very happy. 3 more brand new pairs of knickers. Now what I'm wearing today is because although it's sunny out still in the UK, it is absolutely freezing, and this is my favourite, one of my favourite Butterick sweatshirts that I make. Now this of course I made for our Disney trip, and it originally had an applique here of Mickey Mouse on it. As you can see, I've taken it off. I've got no residue, so I'm really happy. And I got a cozy blue sweatshirt to wear because it is cold. So I'll put the number down below because it's a Butterick pattern, which I really love. 2 more quick things I got up to this week. I made a couple of these playing card holders. Now this was an idea I got from Rachel from the French Seams. She followed a tutorial. I will find that and link that down below. I didn't really follow the tutorial. All you really need is just a round circle larger than a CD, because it's CDs in here. Do you remember CDs? Luckily we had a great, do you remember you used to download things and record things on CDs and used to buy them in chunks? Well, luckily we still got a load left, so can use them. So yeah, larger than CD, and then one the size of the CD for some interfacing, ×2. You just gather them together, bring them in, and then sew 2 buttons either side. So they're playing card holders. Now I bought a couple because I played with the boys and I absolutely loved it, and I thought it'd be a nice gift for somebody that's with stiff hands and arthritic, or plays with cards for a while and then your hands get stiff. And I liked them. I absolutely loved using them, so I made a couple more. So one of them may be a gift for someone. And the other thing I did was last week we had World Book Day, and I made a costume, and I thought I was done for a while with making things. But I then had an urgent request from my daughter this week. She'd had a note from the school saying that her elder son, who is nearly 8, is going to be dressed as a paper boy. So he needed a hat, and he needed a newspaper bag. So she said, what does that mean? So of course all it is kind of like a messenger bag, isn't it? So very quickly I had some blue twill fabric. I can't show it to you because it's obviously gone off, and I had some of the tape, the shoulder strap stuff, so managed to put that on. Just made a boxed bottom. It was the simplest thing to make, didn't line it or anything, but then I used my embroidery machine to make the applique letters in red news on there, just so everyone knew that that's what that was meant to be, a news bag. He was thrilled with it, so I'm really pleased, and I'll put the picture in. I had great fun making that. It didn't take too long. The only thing that took a long time was appliquing all the letters individually, and obviously hand sewing them onto the bag, because just in case we ever need that bag for anything else, we can just cut all the letters off. But another quick project this week. Next week, what will I be doing? Well, I have this fabric actually nearly made it onto the wheel a couple of times because I've had it for a long time, but is French terry. Very soft, but it's almost got like a silky backing French terry, looped French terry. So it's very, very heavy, but very nice. As you can see, I've obviously cut something out. I'm going to turn it into a dressing gown or a robe for the holiday home. So I'm just going to use this pattern here, Simplicity 1563, very old one, jumper pattern I had. I'm going to turn it into a dressing gown because I need something down there, and it does get quite warm down there, so I don't want anything heavy and fluffy. So a little bit inspired by the lovely Christine from Christine Sews a Lot, who this week made the most beautiful robe. I would easily wear that as a dress. I'll put that link down below. Absolutely stunning. This won't be as stunning, believe me, because the pattern is nowhere near as kind of fancy as that, and the fabric is nowhere near as beautiful as the fabric that Christine used. It's just one that'd be lying around and I just don't know what to do with. So I'm going to make that up for the holiday home next week. And talking about that, we're actually going to be away next week. So we're going away for the weekend for a week down there of just nothing but chilling and walking and looking at that lovely scenery. I can't wait. I can't wait just to relax. So I'm going to take that down with me, take my machines back down with me, and also I recently had a quilting project for a quilt cover, not a quilt cover, oh my goodness, not a quilt cover, but a cushion cover, just to do from a subscription box. So I'm going to take that down as well, I think, and just a couple of easy things I can do. I have got to make something for my daughter whose birthday's in a couple of weeks, but that might be too difficult to make down there, so I might have to rush and do that when I get back. So that's where we'll be next week. There may be Friday sews, there might be Friday sews, I'm not sure. I will definitely report back of something that I've done next week anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'll do a Friday sews from the holiday home. Now, the last thing left to say about a bit about life, as you can see, I've had a fair bit chopped off my hair. It was just driving me crazy. It's just too heavy at the back, so I've had quite a good couple of inches off it. So it's nice and breezy again, much lighter. And the other thing is, I will put in the photos. Last weekend, my husband, one of the things that my daughter bought for him, kind of an experience to have with him to celebrate his birthday, was to do the pier zip slide at Bournemouth. So I'm going to put some photos in of Bournemouth when we went down. Sadly, it wasn't a sunny day, and it was freezing, but they did the pier zip slide. So that's you've got a pier that goes over the sea, you've got like a thing that you go up to the top, and then you zip slide down to the beach. It's not very long, but he had great fun, and I will put the footage in of him that he took, because you get a handheld kind of camera, and I'll put the footage in. As you can see, he loved it, Katie loved it, so that was good. I actually stood on the pier watching them, so I also may put that footage in of them going past from my perspective. But yeah, that was really good. So just something a bit different this week. I'll put that in at the end. As always, I so appreciate you watching my #Friday Sews or any of the videos that I put up, and I really appreciate if you like and subscribe to this video. That's just amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon. I have a video coming out next week, maybe a little bit controversial. It's something I wanted to do in my sewing room for a long time, and I thought I would film it. So yeah, it's a very different video, a short video coming out for you next week. It might be a talking point for a lot of people, but I just, something I wanted to do for myself, but I thought I'd film it at the same time. So a bit of a teaser for next week. Thank you again, and happy sewing. Have an amazing weekend and week ahead. Bye bye for now.
Let's do this. Yeah. Any last words?
Yeah. You're ready. And just stand behind me. And when you're ready, guys. 3, 2, 1, go!